What policies is the Royal Commission working on to prepare for the future, and what has been learnt so far?
You may be aware that we've recently released the interim report after 18 months of operation in June of this year. In fact, it was released in July. And it was a report that didn't contain recommendations, but it told you what we were doing and it told the community what we want to do into the future. And you'd be aware that we've asked the Australian Government to extend the Royal Commission through to the end of 2017, a 2-year extension on our original 3 years. And part of that is so we can actually do work that has never been done before, not only in terms of research, but actually in terms of new policies, policies for institutions, policies for governments. And we want to make sure it's right. We want to make sure that it is not simply a set of recommendations which governments look at, there's a bit of media on the first day and they disappear by the second or third day. We want policies that can actually make a difference in the way that I've described. And so that policy work you will start to see. We will start to, in fact, issue interim reports or alternative reports as we go through the rest of the time of the Royal Commission, if that extension is granted. And some of the work we're doing in the early stages is in relation to working with children's checks. And as most of you would know, that is where both volunteers and employees are required to undergo checks so that people that have particular convictions and or particular histories do not become engaged with working with children. We've commenced a huge study in relation to redress schemes. We've looked at and started to look at the civil administration, civil litigation, and we hope that some of those findings will come out in the middle of next year, before our final report. Indeed, our hope is that the final report is not all that significant, that in fact by the time the final report has come out, we've actually allowed the Australian community to understand what we're thinking and what we're finding. And so from the commencement of next year, you'll start to see these progressive reports that are dealing with significant policy issues, significant issues that need to be addressed by institutions and in fact by governments.